Yeah. Right? And I'm not playing no games. Yeah.
It helps to add yourself to the stream when you go live. Look at that, man. I'm looking ragged. Man, this hurricane's been rough on old Pops. So anyway, listen, guys. Loki didn't do his show tonight. Didn't want to step on him. I got a couple videos already recorded. I'll be up at the crack of dawn to do more. And, if you want to come up here and talk about some stuff, well, let's do it. So, yeah, live. And, let's just talk about whatever. So, I have some different stories kind of going on, some different things in the hopper, and wanted to throw things out there to see what you guys want to talk about. So, that's kind of where I'm at on things. I will probably just make a lot of clips out of this for future reference. So if you're missing something after the fact or only see pieces, that would be why. So let's start with some housekeeping. Yes, there will be membership soon. We'll have that rolled out relatively soon. I'm waiting till my subscriber count gets around 1,500. And we'll be doing that. So I'm going to talk about this Spawn movie Move Forward. So I'll probably be saying a little something about that at some point. May go ahead and do like a read through on Daredevil. I've been doing a reread on Daredevil. Evidently, after 3-4 weeks of teasing it, Daredevil may actually show up this week. That'd be nice, right, guys? It'd be nice to actually have the character they say is going to show up in She-Hulk to actually show up. And I have some mail. Now, I know what my mail is. I'm not getting... By the way, my address is down there to send stuff to the P.O. box. If you want to just send me something, that's fine. But I did get a couple things. We'll open those up as well. People come up in here. We'll check the things out. So there's some cool stuff in there to open up. And just kind of open the door. I've had a couple weeks where things are hectic. Family stuff kind of hit us kind of seriously for a minute there. Family matters first, man. No offense to you guys. I love you guys. You've made this possible to me hang out and like just be the nerd that I am. But yeah, the family stuff, could matter more, and everything kind of had to go on a hiatus for that. And then of course, for those of you who know, I'm in Florida, and first off, the storm changed directions within the last 24 hours. So nearly everyone in Florida was on the radar screen at some point. So there was a lot of chaos. And then my job canceled everything. We were trying to figure out, what to do. I have, 5 kids and my dad. So a lot of folks we had to kind of care for, make sure was all squared away. So that's kind of where I was. What was going on? It's been crazy. I will be honest. And I will tell you that there are some folks in this fellowship that checked on me regularly, talked to me, encouraged me, asked me what I needed, those kinds of things, and whatever. Hey, man, Matt, you want to come up in here? I'll send you a link. Hey, Princess Leia Rose. I don't know if you go online or not, but if you want to come up in here too, you're welcome to. It's funny you say that, Matt. My video drops tomorrow where I'm rereading at Daredevil 168. I did a little review and walkthrough. I'm just going to go ahead and drop you the link. If you want to come in here, Matt, we can talk comic books if you want. Because Daredevil is freaking fantastic. You can start before 168. So I do this video, it drops tomorrow because evidently Daredevil will actually show up in She-Hulk. That would be nice, right? And I was like, well, it's a good excuse to read some things. And because of this silly Man Bull cameo in the last episode, I thought, well, I should go back and read some Daredevil because that's where he kind of came from. So, Princess Leia Rose, do I have you on Twitter already? I would love to have you come up in here and meet Princess Leia Rose. We could talk about whatever. Let me see. Let me see. Sorry. I might have to have you get me on Twitter so that I know how to send it to you. I sent to Matt. I can't do the open door thing. I had to learn like the wrong way. Like that turns into a nightmare, by the way, guys. I'm like putting the link just out there. Like I didn't have Pornbot, man. I had like a dude like, exposing himself. It's crazy. So, anyway, So Matt, issue 168 is the first appearance of Elektra. I drop a video tomorrow. In that video, I not only do an excruciating detail, spoilery type review, but at the end, I do give examples of where you can find copies of that Daredevil issue and other issues that Miller run very cheap. So I pull up some screenshots of eBay and those kinds of things. I even made bid on one of them because it would have been like $20 to get these graphic novels. So yeah, I'm a big fan of issue because that's what I'm reading right now. I did 168, which is Elektra. 169 is Bullseye. It's a 3-story arc with Kingpin. Bullseye's part of it. So I mean, it's just Miller wastes no time once he has like total control of writing and drawing. Hey, DJ Ronnie J, hang on, man. You want to come up in here too? Let me know. Yeah, we'll be happy to have you. So, but yeah, let's just do it. Let's just throw it there. You want to come in? That's fine. I won't put it in the title or anything like that. So I don't think it will create as much chaos. So, Louise Exparrow, hey, how you doing? Great. So I was going to ask you about this. So it's perfect timing for that video. Yeah. So look, I've said several times, I am not about chasing hits and chasing views and traffic or anything. I'm going to do what I think is true to me. So I'm not going to lie. I'm reading Daredevil 168. I've reread through like the 170s, and he's going to show up on She-Hulk. So now's a great time to do a Daredevil video. Will it get a few more views than it normally would? Maybe. So, yeah, just, feel free if you can stop in. There's a little link there. Let me pin, put user. No, it will not let me pin on this way. It's just, yeah. So, but no, I thought I would do a few things. I'd catch up on a few things with you guys and see what you guys wanted to talk about. I did an Andor review, so I'm caught up on that. And it's basically a show about nothing. I watch it so you don't have to, is my thing. Matt also subjects himself. If you're not subscribed to Matt, you need to be, because it is totally brutal. It is totally brutal. So, Andor, my review's up. I'll have She-Hulk up in the morning. I get up super early and have that done. My videos, I usually post at 10:15. So after Loki's Morning's Mischief, I post at 10:15 after his show is over. And then I try to do, if I do a second video, it'll be 12:15. I do shorts in the afternoon. There are some days there's no second video or shorts coming. It's just kind of, whatever. So there we are. Yeah, but Leia Rose, yeah, you're more than welcome. Feel free to come up in here if you want. So, yeah, so Andor, yeah, DJ Ronnie G. So Andor is like the same problem as Rogue One for me. Doesn't feel very much Star Wars. There's no lightsabers or no Jedi. It's just the Rebels. It's very much in the 5 years out. So it's the infancy of the Rebels trying to figure out what to do, those kinds of things. So, yeah, I'll put the link there again. Oh, look at that. Abomination. AJ's here. Nas is here. Hey, man, you guys want to come up and chat about whatever? This is my catch-up stream, man. I got to get caught up a little bit on some stuff. I got some fun stuff we can do and hang out and talk about. But, yeah, the Loki show's not happening. Comic Book Roundtable not happening. I got a couple videos already recorded. So my Daredevil video drops tomorrow after She-Hulk. So She-Hulk will be at 10:15. Daredevil will be at 12:15. I might get to some shorts. Werewolf by Night drops on Friday, so I'm going to try to figure out if I can catch that. But you may see, like, I have some Man-Thing cards and some stuff like that. I may throw those out as shorts. I can't find my Man-Thing #1. I know I have it. I just don't know where it is. Anyway, so why was Reylo the best thing to happen to Star Wars? See, Nas, it's just trolling. Look at that. Let's just put it up on screen so everybody knows what a trolls feels like. Trolling. It's right there. That was so cringy bad with that ending of Rise that I want to leave the theater. I felt dirty. It felt gross. It was, and I feel so betrayed by the sequels. Yeah, just awful. So, but yeah, if you're not subscribed to some of these folks that are in there, I'd have to pull up another window. But did you guys see this Spawn story? I want to share this Spawn story with you guys. This is how bad our media is. This is Hollywood Reporter. Let me share it. So there's actually going to be a Spawn movie. It's moving forward with Jamie Foxx as the title character, which is not horrible. I did a review of a Netflix show called Day Shift, which I thought was good for what it was. It has issues, but it wasn't terrible. But yeah, Jamie Foxx is kind of an action dude in that, shooting, killing vampires. I'm like, all right, well, it fits Respawn. I can see this working. No, we're good. So yeah, let me blow this up here. This is a Hollywood Reporter did this about how this moves. Yeah, Nas, I see your question. We'll come back to that then. Let me do Spawn real quick so we can have a little clip here. It moves forward. It got screenwriters Scott Silver, Malcolm Spellman, and rising screenwriter Matt Mixon. And I went, full stop. Matt Mixon? Who is Matt Mixon? Matt Mixon is a nobody. So there's no rising screenwriter Matt Mixon. That is bought and paid for by press. That is not someone who actually wrote that. That's someone who got paid to write that. Because Matt Mixon is a documentarian. So you had to scroll down below, 2 paragraphs, maybe 3, blah, 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 blah. Keep going past the ad. Another paragraph. You get down here to where Mixon. Mixon came up with the world of documentaries and helmed the 2017 music doc, Yesterday Was Everything. So if he has no experience and he's being promoted in this way, he's a documentarian and he did like music docs. He's not like, he didn't like a comic book documentary. He didn't do like a song documentary, or he didn't do anything like that. Right. So what would you think in the back of your mind? Gosh, where's AJ when I need him? What would be what we expect? And it is just, you know what? I feel gross. I feel like 5% shame, and then I'll just like anger and frustration because I went to go look. Yeah, he's the token. He got the job on like this is literally like an affirmative action hire. I don't care if you guys want to call me racist or not. It's freaking dude has no resume at all. A 2016, this says 16, they said 17 documentary called Yesterday Was Everything. Quote, writer of a short, director of a doc, short doc. Dude has no experience. This is exactly what Disney's been doing, and we wonder why we get crap. So McFarlane has brought in other people. By the way, the Spawn writing credit's not even on here yet. That's how fast this story has dropped late in the day. So yeah, Spawn's moving forward with Jamie Foxx. They have these writers in here, and the quote is, this was from Spellman in the press. So this is another trick when you see a story, how it's bought and paid for. See how this is the first quote from the actual creators? Now, McFarlane actually answered the phone, and he says he told the reporter. So McFarlane says, if we've got an A-list actor, A-list producers, A-list writers, then you do what you shoot for, A-list directors, A-list cinematographers. The answer is, of course. Let's keep the momentum going. Well, I don't know about A-list writers, but okay, let's see what we got. And then, of course, the other guy is like, I grew up in Berkeley, which is a comic book city. Todd McFarlane's Spawn character is always one of my favorite. A black superhero that was oh, come on. There is no one that read Spawn when it happened that was really worried about there being him being black or not. Actually, it was kind of a mystery for a while. I think it was before he took that, there was a flashback to, him being Spawn was just kicking butt, man. He was so freaking cool. And that cape, oh my God, McFarlane's art. So that book came out in 92. It rocked the world. I remember it was freaking great. It was just freaking great. I love Spawn. I would love to see a good Spawn movie. So wasn't there a Spawn series before? Yes. Princess Leia Rose, there was an HBO series, which I can highly recommend. If you can get HBO Max, that's my, I need to find someone who wants to do like a watch through with that with me. And we can do like reviews. We could break it up into 2 or 3 episode chunks. That would be so much fun. So maybe we have to figure out how to coordinate that around this Spawn movie's development, because that HBO series is a high recommend. And you should be able to find I don't know what Spawn issues sell for. Because I haven't shopped for any for so long. I'm still finding that I still have some. I have like a handful left. I keep finding them like randoms. I don't know. Because I have about 4 issues kind of set aside. They're in like what I call long-term storage. For those of you who don't know me well, long-term storage. Jacob Ironside popped in here. Hey man, how you doing? Well, Yeah, catching up on some stuff, and you're talking about this Spawn movie that is eventually moving forward. Anyway, so the other two writers of Spawn have ties to, Joker. They basically kind of adapted a screenplay together. He and Todd Phillips, who directed Joker. Spellman is also tied to Falcon and Winter Soldier, which was to me a negative, not a positive. So right now, I kind of feel like we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know. Too early to say. So, yeah, there's a Spawn movie moving ahead. They got a writer, hired a token writer. I feel bad to have to say that, but that's the truth. Dude has no credentials, no qualifications to get this job. I don't know. Hopefully they ask him to actually read it, which would be nice for a change, right? Might actually be nice to have read it. So yeah, I don't know. Let's see. What's another? So we should open these boxes. Steve Rogers should not have stayed in the past for the lady. Yeah. I hate time travel stuff for that reason too. Like it always just creates other problems or questions and things like that. So yeah. All right, let's go back, Nas. Nas, you're still out there. What is worse, Last Jedi or Rise? Last Jedi is by far worse. And I am not one that was like on the train against Last Jedi when it was happening. I remember feeling shell shocked. The movie ended. I saw it at a screener with one of my closest friends. And there was maybe a dozen of us in there. We had to sign like NDAs and all this other stuff as a reviewer. And you could hear a pin drop. There was no sound. No one clapped. No one did anything. And I got to admit, I felt shocked. Like, what am I watching? Why is Princess Leia floating through the sky? And why are we going to this casino to watch alien dog races and have them horse races or whatever they were? It's like, it was just, I was like, what is happening? I don't understand. And then I just kept saying, and every time I saw it again with the family. I didn't see it for a long while, and then I saw it again. It's every time I saw it, it just kept getting worse. But I kept saying, it's $1 billion on the stake. There's $1 billion in play here. They have to have a plan. I remember having conversations with my son. I've said this story many times. We would fan fiction how this all could go and how this all could work. And for me, it couldn't have been a bigger letdown. And it started right away with Rise. Like they wasted no time with the way the Emperor stuff was even played. The fact that he was even there was a problem, but the fact that the way they handled it, nothing got off to a good place. And then, of course, they introduced all sorts of crazy different elements in Rise. But for me, Last Jedi has no redeemable elements because it just completely takes the direction. I think and let's just pretend they had a plan. I don't think they did. And then just went hard left. And I don't know why. I don't know. I feel the same, but just on a technical and storytelling level, Last Jedi destroyed the entire structure that was Star Wars, but Rise was so disjointed and schizophrenic. I felt like it was making me crazy. Yeah, well, obviously it's hard for me because Last Jedi is so canon breaking, right? So it's like we just literally fundamentally just start breaking things, and we do things like for the casino stuff. I thought, well, there'll be a callback. Like it's like, there'll be ways they can tie this together. Like I said, I was fan fictioning this with my son with like how to make Kylo Ren. It's like, if we're gonna have the Emperor come back, have him just be a clone of himself. It's barely alive, whatever it is. We don't know if it's actually the Emperor, or just another derivative version of itself. And it just transforms. You want to be Darth Vader? I'll make you Darth Vader. Fine. We'll just tear you apart and make you into a machine too, and things like that. Just torturing him. And you create it instead of having this love relationship dynamic and then having her as being the Emperor's granddaughter with these spontaneous powers. And I remember sitting in Rise. I know what it was. Remember the Chewbacca scene, right? We think they killed Chewbacca. She kills Chewbacca. And then within like 10 seconds, they reversed it. Like it didn't even hold up. Like I was like, holy crap, they killed Chewbacca? Like this movie could be serious. Like we are really seriously trying to end this. I thought this was really going to try to end the OT. We killed off Han Solo, but so okay, fine. We want to kill Chewbacca. We're really going to go for an emotional roller coaster ride. No, we reversed it in a few seconds. C-3PO is going to get reprogrammed. He will never be C-3PO. Oh no, we'll reverse that too in 2 seconds. It's just like It is an interesting conversation, Nas. It is a really interesting conversation because they're both just such crap, and they just when movies like this happen, you can have an initial experience, and then as you go along, your reaction can just, for me, just keeps getting worse and worse and worse. That's how I felt. I just kept getting worse. It kept getting worse. So, but I will put the link back in there again if you want to join me. And also say that Last Jedi definitely took a dump right all over the lore and established characters which are bigger sin in the long run. Yeah, well, and just if the porgs weren't bad enough, we were literally adding characters in Rise to just to sell a stuffed animal or an action figure or something else. It was just so bad. So Louise Expero says, I skipped the sequels. More I hear about them, the worse it seems. It's just it really is a tragic thing as a fan too, because I was very euphoric of having Star Wars again. And I remember watching Force Awakens, and for the most part, I enjoyed it. It was just like, okay, well, we're just going to do all this over again. I didn't care. There were so many elements I didn't like, though, and I was very reserved. And obviously, the Han Solo stuff, I just felt like it was such a letdown. But I blamed Harrison Ford because I knew he wanted to die in Empire Strikes Back. So I'm like, oh, he made them do this. It wasn't how I would have done it, but that's what he made them do this. He made them die, kill him. But I'm like, okay, let's give them a chance. It's $1 billion franchise. They've got plans. They know what they're doing. They're making a ton of money. This movie made a ton of money. And then it's like, okay, no. And then we're going to have like these choreography was bad. We break. So I don't know. Yeah. But no, I can't recommend it. It's just the sequels. It's just one of those things like you're better served watching someone's 10, 20-minute review, which I've never done a video on any of them. I've never done a review on them. Just if you had questions about what actually here, just get a spoiler review and just dive deep into that kind of thing. So, and Jacob says, check out Andor, but it looks boorish. Listen, I'm watching it, so you don't have to, Jacob. You can watch my reviews. You can make your own judgment. So I did a review Andor episodes 1, 2, 3. And I did an episode 4 and 5 because I took a week off because of the hurricane, so I did to catch up. But I'm watching Andor, so you don't have to. It is pretty boring. Pretty boring. 1 and 2 episodes 1 and 2 could have been one episode. 3 was fine. It moved forward. And then basically now we have 4 and 5, which is kind of one episode. So Nas, I don't know, man. I can't tell you to. I don't know. I can't tell you to watch it. I'm watching it, so you don't have to. You can kind of decide. Nas is saying, I'm trying to convince myself that Blade Runner 2049 was good. Was good so bad I can't stand it after repeat viewings. It was my same reaction to the Phantom Menace in theaters. Yeah, 2049. I was initially put off. I guess I'm too much of the purist, and what the lore is with Deckard and him. It's like it doesn't work for me if we're just going to try to change all this and stuff. I will say though, it did have a lot of positives I liked, but at the end of the day, I was just like, no, I'm just not a thing. I think I've watched 2049 maybe one when the Blade Runner anniversary came out earlier this year in June. We talked about doing a talk hard of Blade Runner, but I don't feel like I could have added anything because there are people who are, Wakasashi Tea House did a great. I think Pop Culture Minefield did a great stuff on it. So I didn't really have anything else to add to that conversation. So I didn't do anything. I thought about doing 2049 just to kind of tick people off, but I didn't do that. So I'm done with the remakes and prequels. Boy, your list is going to be short, Jacob. Have you seen, can I recommend The Black Phone? The Black Phone is probably one of my top 10 movies of the year. It's kind of like, I know there are other movies I haven't seen. I'm not going to pretend that I've seen a ton of stuff that's new. I do try to review a lot of the newer stuff to kind of keep the fake credentials going, even though I don't actually go to screenings live anymore. They're always a hassle because they're on Tuesdays when I have Talk Hard. But Black Phone's great. Obviously, Maverick was great. And I sound like the flaccid Zax and Chris Gore when I try to promote RR in Indian cinema, which, by the way, I have another review coming out on Saturday called Andhadhun. And it's a great film. It's the Indian cinema is just a different beast altogether. But boy, they make good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff. Nah, says the way they throw Deckard's daughter in at the end and the Gosling's arc is just a giant nothing burger. Was terrible. Couldn't agree more. I'm like, what are they doing? What is happening? There's so much walking in that movie. I mean, this movie, I don't understand the walking in films in modern cinema. Like this just happened. Like all of Andor, like they're walking or they're sitting around and talking. Like all of Andor episode 5 is them going around the room and saying little things about characters. And I compare that to House of Dragon, which, and I say it's good, but I don't mean great. So let's not get carried away. Like, yeah, I didn't watch Game of Thrones live, and I fast forward through a lot of stuff because it's not my cup of tea. You guys know I run a PG-13 show, but seasons 1, 2, and 3 of Game of Thrones are freaking fantastic. Right? This does not even hold a candle to seasons 1, 2, and 3. However, it at least feels like you're in the right universe. They respect characters. They have great character arcs. They're developing like second, third character. You know who I said in my review, you know who characters are in Andor. They can all die, and I don't even care who they are. I don't even know their names. So you're not a good writer if I don't know their names, right? It's a problem. It's a big problem. If I'm supposed to care when they die because they don't live. They're not around. They're going to die. So I'm supposed to have an emotional mark. This was the issue. I said this was the issue with Kenobi, right? Wade died. I made a big joke about R.I.P. Wade because there's this big, oh, Wade just died. I'm like, who the heck is Wade? Oh, he's that rebel in that one scene with one line. I don't care. Like, these writers stink. So when they try to throw in Deckard's daughter and Ryan Gosling just walking around trying to look like a model, I'm like, all right, I don't really care. I was bored a lot. That's probably part of it. So, yeah, Nas is like he's going to include season 4. Season 4 become like a major step down from 3. And I've never been able to objectively evaluate 4 because of that. I'm honest with it. The 3 was just so off the chart because I didn't watch it in real time. I just binged it in like 3 weeks. And I had heard about Red Wedding. I had heard about these things. I heard people go, oh, they all die. But I didn't know when it happened, how it played out, or anything like that. So for me, I was shell shocked. I was like, whoa, what is happening? And each moment got me like as though I was watching it live. I wasn't spoiled. So the fact that you have that happen and then immediately I'm binging. So I'm watching season 4. It's a massive fall off. And that's where you start to get into Tyrion's so less relevant. They change his character and we're starting to get into that Me Too area too, where they start to change a lot of their approach on things. So, but House of Dragon's good. And like I said, the writers are doing a good job. I'm banking on there'll be even more payoffs because they do at least try to continue to navigate through some of that kind of stuff. So want to get some more stuff off my to-do list. Let's do some mail time. It's not really an unboxing. I know what I'm getting. So I had this box and I joked. And I had to open it because I did an unboxing one time and I couldn't get in the box because there was so much duct tape and stuff. So I opened it, but I didn't actually take anything out. I just cut the duct tape because the dude did use like duct tape everywhere. So I got this through some crazy negotiations. I traded something. Well, it gave me good stuff to pack with, so that's always good. So I don't know what to do with these. I want to do an opening. This is... Oh, it's so exciting. An original sealed box of Uncanny X-Men trading cards by Jim Lee. These are the Jim Lee cards. So I don't know if you can see them or not. There's samples there. Now, when these came out, Marvel had already released Marvel Universe cards, but this is the first time Daredevil. Oh, yes, Daredevil. I have Daredevil in their brain. This is the first time we have Deadpool with a card. Plus, all this art's Jim Lee. So let's just be honest. The 1991 Jim Lee sets, they're beautiful, beautiful art. So we're going to open this up at some point. And I don't know what to do because I don't really need a bunch of Jim Lee cards. And I thought about I could do a member stream, I could do giveaways, and I could even sell packs to you. Instead of you having to drop $200 to $300 for a box, which is pretty much what these. You probably could find somebody who'd drop one for about $150. But you're gonna pay $10 a pack or so like that. But I thought about you throw $10 in the hopper, and We can open the pack live and you can see what you got and I'll mail them to you, or I can just mail you the sealed pack. I don't care. I'll do either one. So this has been up for discussion how we're going to handle this box, but we're going to open the box. That's not up for discussion. We're opening the box. I don't need the box. I didn't trade for the box to keep it sealed, but, and yes, I am the crazy person. I'm the crazy person that opened one of these. And it's like, if someone wanted to PayPal me $50, I was going to chew the gum, which I don't think is humanly possible. So that offer does not still stand, because we popped the gum. This is 1983 gum. It would pop. I don't think I can get enough fluid in my mouth to actually chew the gum, but I was going to try. Yeah, Matt's here. Common idiot. By the way, if you're not subscribed to Matt, I cannot do the. I guess I can. I just have to figure out how to. I can make one of you a mod or something. You guys can put links in. It's because I just can't boomer. I'm a freaking mess. Sorry, guys. But I can make one of you a mod or something to put links in for everybody, because everybody's got great stuff. Jacob's got great stuff. And Matt obviously doing awesome things. So love to do that. I know AJ was here. And AJ, I'm a huge fan of AJ's work. Had him on the show one time. Have him back soon. So yeah, I got my X-Men box. Matt, I told you about this was going to come at some point. You were like, are you going to open it? Yes, I am. Well, we're going to open it. We're going to figure something out. I'm probably going to include Zach's. Zach's loves to do card breaks. He sent me one where they did a 1996 Marvel Masterpiece, which are some of the most expensive cards in the older Marvel. All of the art on 1996 Masterpiece is by Boris Vallejo and Julie Bell. So these beautiful fantasy painted versions of those characters. I only have one card left. I've sold them all because they'll all sell for $30 to $50 on a base. Like, generic characters would probably sell for $15 to $25. That's how beautiful these cards are. You hit a Spider-Man or something like this, cards are selling for $100 more. Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, Zach sent me a link. This dude opened a $6,000 box. So I guess what they did was they did a buy-in. I don't know how much it costs to buy a pack, but they were like, so what you would do is you would number the packs, right? So there's 4 packs. So it'd be like pack 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next row down, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you would just pick your number. Let's say it cost, I don't know what a guy charged for $6,000. I mean, I can't imagine how much he had to charge. Let's say he had $50. I went pack number 11. So when pack 11 was open, you got those cards, but you would see what on air, what they were. That way everybody can at least get an exposure, because who's going to buy a $6,000 box of those cards? So, and I assume the unsold stuff the person kept or whatever. So that was the first thing I got in the mail. I traded for that a bit ago. I got more stuff to pack with to ship stuff that I post. I don't promote my eBay stuff. I think that's kind of like, it gets a little uncouth. Like, I try to compartmentalize the YouTube part. Once I have like merch, because I talked about doing the Pops logo and doing stickers and coasters and things like that. I'd set up a Teespring? I think it's what it's called. Anyway, I have a link. I haven't had time to keep going back to it to do more stuff like that. I want to order some up for myself. I want to set up Pops coasters. So I got this box. And I didn't know what this was at first. And then I saw who it was from. I'm like, oh, I know exactly what these are. I am a major nerd. I have not done this film. I don't know how I'm even going to fit it in, because I'm running out of year. Because 1982, and I will argue till my death, was the best year in film. And it's the anniversary of Tron. And I'm a massive Tron fan. So therefore, spoiler alert, you know what these are. I have more of them. There's some on the shelf behind me. They fell down. 10 more sealed packs of Tron. So I found those. I was very excited. They will normally run, $8 to $12 a pack. And I did all right. I did not pay that. I was very happy about that. These are cool cards for 1982. Very cool cards. And no gum. By the way, so the gum issue, for those of you who didn't hear me talk about gum before. Anyway, so that's my other thing. Here's your sealed wax packs. What 1982 smells like. Sorry, let me turn that around there. 1982. There you go. So, yeah, again, I don't know. Give some away. I'm going to do a 1,500 sub celebration soon. and then I'll kind of roll out the memberships. Like we can go through them all, have something to talk about, go through what all the memberships are, how I'm going to kind of approach it, to do streams and that kind of things, and do giveaways and things like that. So yeah, Luis. Yeah, I understand. I have an unhealthy love of the original Tron, and I actually like the new one. I love it up until they leave the grid in the 4-wheeler, and then from then on, I'm kind of iffy on it. So that's all. So Bobby says I like the sound of the second movie. That's it. But no, this is all first movie stuff. These are original. Actually, they were made in 1981, and the movie comes out in 1982. So the cards actually are copyrighted. When you open them up and you look at the cards, because we opened some up on air. If you go to my channel, there's a couple videos. I know I did one with specific, but like I said, we can do this. We either can have a contest or give them away, or we can. You guys want to buy one? I can give some to you. I don't care. I'll give something away. Mail them to you. But we can open them up. Do that. Have some fun doing the Tron packs as well. So I have tons of stuff set aside for giveaways for that celebration stream, membership announcements, just kind of really rejoice in that. 'Cause I really didn't think, I don't do numbers. I mean, I pay attention that they exist, but I don't look at my numbers every day or anything like that. And every few days I'll check numbers. And I was kind of tracking through. I got serious about, I'm going to do pops full bore. This is it. This is the other job. You know what I mean? I have a daytime job, but this is the other job. And it was March the 12th. So when I was doing the math and I was trending how things were playing out, I was like, oh wow, I'm headed towards monetization, or I should say 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours sometime in October. That was what I was trending towards. And of course it happened in August. So I'm ahead of schedule. And the fact that I'm getting to 1,500 by October is still blowing my mind away. And I am the reason I don't already have memberships up. I just couldn't navigate through making decisions on what I was going to call everything and doing it, because not everything is user friendly. And for an old dog like me, I don't do new tricks very well. So I had a lot of time wasted piddling around with all that. But there you go. So X-Men box, Tron packs, video stuff, membership stuff, comic book stuff. I don't know what else you guys want to talk about. I missed anybody's comments? I think I got most of your comments. Okay. What's on your guys' mind? Somebody mentioned Ring of Power being, Jacob, you asked about Ring of Power. Worse, I don't know. I literally turned on Ring of Power. She made some sort of paper boat. They threw a rock at it and I turned it off. And I was like, I'm just done. I've only heard just insanely, ridiculously negative things. I don't have anything to offer to the conversation about, reviewing the episodes other than from like a normie's point of view. So what I will probably do is just when it's all said and done and there's not so many other things I can work on, then I will probably just binge through it and do an overall video from like a normie's point of view and give you my thoughts on Ring of Power. I can just tell by the people that I like and trust, from Mags all the way up to Gary at Nerdrotic, I am not going to not going to like it. So, Blue Sparrow, Star Wars is worse because Ring of Power's had an original cast. It's more damaging. Ring of Power isn't good enough to be that bad. Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But doesn't Gladriel and Enron, not Enron? Did I say Enron? That was terrible. They're still the original characters, and they kind of mess them up. I can't get around the Star Wars sequels being worse because you got Han Solo's bad dad dies, grumpy old man isolated on an island, complete gives up Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia floats through sky. Now she's dead. They can't redeem it, and none of them were ever on screen at the same time. Lando was kind of outsourced as like a almost like completely irrelevant. Just I don't forget it. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I agree. I can go there. Yeah. Hey, Bifrost here. Hey man, how you doing? Thanks for the Dread podcast. All right, cool man. Glad you liked it. Love Dread. Had a great time. I love rewatching it because such a great script. Really, really enjoyed talking about movies that are really fun to watch and have good scripts. Matt says, I watched episode 1 and 2 was out. Couldn't handle it. Just didn't feel like it's going down the rabbit hole. Yeah, I know. So I'm going to wait till the end, Matt. I don't know if you're going to try to kind of handle all that. I'm just going to be like, I'm just good. So yeah, Leia Rose is saying I agreed. I probably talk about Star Wars. I feel betrayed too. Like I said, I wanted to give them a benefit of the doubt going, there's so much money at stake. Surely they have plans. Surely. Oh, silly me. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I can't even tell you the last time I've watched them, and I can't imagine watching them again anytime soon. So, okay, Louis says it has their names. There's no resemblance to the characters, but it's kind of the same thing for me, though. I'm going to have a hard time with that, and that's what I picked up on early on. And Gary has gone into like excruciating details, and I haven't watched his reviews because I didn't want to get more spoilers than I already have. But even like the way the trailers and stuff were gone over, because my first impression was, I was like, that's Galadriel? Like what? I don't understand. And it was like because they already knew some of the other lore and all the stuff that they were using to create the show, they at least knew who this was. For me, the normie, I was like, I'm confused. I thought she was this, beautiful, elegant, regal looking elf. What is she doing wearing an armor? And I went at it like right out of the gate. Like I'm just confused. So I know I'm not going to like it. So I had something pop in my head we could talk about, and then I forgot. So, the meetup. Oh, Florida's meetup. So the the Geeks and Gamers Nerdrotic meetups that many of you know about. There'll be one in Orlando on October 30th. And I and Mrs. Pops will be making the journey to Orlando for the meetup. So we'll be down there for the morning session. I believe it's the morning session. I don't know what time we'll be there, but we'll be there for several hours, be hanging out. Hopefully we'll go do our rounds and meet, all the G&G and all these high profile guys that are kind of I call it the founders that are the generation ahead of us. I was too busy working for other people during that, doing their YouTube work and not doing my own to be counted among them. And people try to compare me to some of this stuff. And I call myself the flea market version of Gary. But no, they got there. I did not get there. All I did was find ways to fail and get demonetized and get my videos taken down. It was pretty much what I was doing for me and other people. But no, I will be at that Florida meetup. So if you want to reach out, let me know. I'd love to meet you face to face. And hey, Gap, how you doing, my friend? And you will always be Gap After Dark. You will always be Gap Stargate to me, bro. Yes. Awesome to have you here, my friend. I definitely need to catch up on your videos and shorts and stuff. So for those of you who don't know, we had family stuff 1 week, hurricane. I didn't have electricity for like a day and a half, 2 days. Just, it's what it is. So I have a lot of catching up to do. And usually what you do, if those of you are not used to me, you'll find me to get in there. I don't watch videos if it's something I don't want spoiled. So if you do something that I'm going to get to, I skip it. But there's a lot of times you'll see me go in there and I'll do like 6 or 8 things in a row. You're just on 1.5 to 2 speed where it's on fast forward to my brain. So I'm listening and I'm getting through content, chewing it up. So that's what I'll do over the next, get back on schedule and get back to catching up on stuff. I have so far. You get really behind when you are this connected with so many great creators and you support their work and they support yours. I get excited about what you guys are doing when you guys make video. Like every time Matt posts a video, I get excited when I know it's there, even if I can't get to it right away. And when I drive home, I drive in and I drive home from work, these massive drives that I'm consuming, 2 hours straight of just content on 1.5 to 2 speed. So I mentioned Daredevil 168. I know when Matt first dropped, everybody asked about where do I read Daredevil. So I'm going to just quickly share. This is the next issue. I'm going to cut this out for a video. So this was the next issue, Frank Miller. So again, for those of you who didn't catch the whole spiel from me, Frank Miller is my favorite creator. He's part of the reason I ended up in comic books, and he was doing Daredevil. This is back in the day. He came out with issue 168 on January 1st, 1981. He started off in 1981 in amazing fashion. He got total control of Daredevil at that point. He basically was writer and artist. So during 1980, he was dabbling with a little bit of both, a little bit of art, a little bit of writing, back and forth. But at 168, he introduced Elektra. It's this phenomenal episode, this episodic sort of standalone comic book. Has a beginning and an end. Very powerful. I do a spoiler review that drops tomorrow. This is the next issue. I will not go through every single thing with you because I don't want to, drive you guys super, super crazy and ruin it for you if you don't want to. But basically, this is where because he's done a little bit of Bullseye. Bullseye has been a very cheesy character. And this is where Miller gets a hold of Bullseye and really makes him the foil. This is very much a standard staple Frank Miller tactic and style here. You see how the TVs are. See how there's no framing comic book panels. This is what we saw and we loved with Dark Knight Returns. That happens literally many years later. Several years later, right? When he takes over the Batman Dark Knight Returns. Completely different style. But see, he gives you this TV talk show backstory of Bullseye. Very smart. Oh, and by the way, this is Matt Murdock here in the chair. Let's see if we make it big. There's Matt Murdock. And then we find out that Bullseye's on the loose. And then Murdock just disappears in the chair. That's at the end of that last little shot. So then we have our splash page. And there's tons of people dressed up as Daredevil. So it appears. And you end up with like this murder spree. And what we find out is sort of this backstory of Bullseye. And he has basically, long story short, brain tumor. He's hallucinating, seeing Daredevil everyone because Daredevil is the one guy who beat him. Daredevil can dodge his weapons. And they're going through this excruciating detail in this scene. So this is Miller crafting a more complicated origin story for Bullseye, elevating Bullseye to be a very formidable foil for Daredevil, and then finding ways for Daredevil to still come out on top. So the entire episode, and this is the type of art, he moves back and forth with his colors. He creates a lot of conflict and motion in his panels. Like, look at these panels. We don't get a lot of this in modern comic books. I know people will go, well, there's not a lot of detail. Well, there is a lot of detail. These characters here on the far left, doesn't look like there's much to them, but they're drawn exactly the same way throughout the entire issue. So you learn about who they are and what they do, what they have as these sort of like extras in the story. Note the motion here to the right, motion to the left. Here's those two characters I'm talking about. So you get a little bit more look at who they are. So everything tends to flow with his work. It really is very unique, and definitely was unique for its time. And I wasn't reading comic books when this came out. This is what I ended up into, starting with his other work in Batman and then finding his work in Daredevil. But this is the second issue he has full control of. He basically creates now an arch nemesis, sort of a Joker type level character. And you see them going hand to hand with how they can, one can defeat the other, one gets the upper hand, and you get a little bit of both. You get here's there, Daredevil gets the upper hand, and then no, he doesn't. Bullseye actually gets him. He falls down. So there's lots of little nuances that Miller plays with here. And you do get a very brief cameo. Elektra does show up, and she's going to Matt's apartment because she's finally reminiscing about them having some sort of relationship. And there's obviously a lady there. Here she is. So, and then Elektra disappears. And, so story moves along with, what we're going to do with Bullseye. And that's pretty much how this episode goes. Very, very smart writing. I don't even know what to tell you. It's just every little thing. Nothing's wasted. Times are not wasted. This is Daredevil listening. This is like stuff that we used in the TV show. Like, how does he concentrates softer sounds murmur to him from 1,000 separate sources. So he can hear the TV show. He can hear the steam coming off this teapot. He can hear the tick-tock and the alarm going off on this person's clock. He's got to tune out dripping faucets and flapping blinds, person coughing, right? Oh, wait, that's who he's looking for, right? Brilliant rewrite of Daredevil. Instead of some of the cheese and the silliness, he gets a lot more complicated and dark and edgy. And of course, then you get into the big fight scene here near the end of the issue that culminates with basically Bullseye almost winning because they're near a subway. And of course, the sounds and stuff are going to mess up with his echolocation type skill set. And then you end up with this incredible climax. I'm not going to spoil it because I am on a live stream, but I would if I did a video of what happens here where they're on this thing as the subway car is coming towards them. So great issue, great comics. I said jump in at 168. You're not going to be disappointed because 168 will definitely keep going. 169 is about Bullseye. And then there's a 3-story arc issue there with Kingpin. And you have Bullseye in it, but it's about Kingpin. And elevating Kingpin, bringing Kingpin back into relevance. A lot of this was very much the source material for what made Daredevil such a great TV show. So there we go. That's spectacular, Frank Miller. Yeah, it is. I don't say it's different. It's just he didn't care about some of the rules. He broke a lot of rules. He wrote them. His art at times is not very good. His art is not consistent at times. I don't know. There's something about it that just I don't know. It's really, really good. So, Bobby brings up the fact that there is a documentary on Tubi. You know what? I need to do either almost like a reaction video or something on that. Yeah, that's a great call. I'm right. I need to write that down. Thanks, Bobby. That's very good. Very kudos to you, man. I need to write that down. I'm all about promoting crap on Tubi anyway because it's free. I'm actually currently watching Hellraiser on there because you guys know that Hellraiser thing is on Hulu on Friday, and I'll be reviewing that. But the 1987 one is on Tubi. So yeah, I'm going to write this Frank Miller doc on there. It's good. I want to do it. I have to admit I have excruciating pro Frank Miller bias. To be honest. So, and yes, Bifer says Tubi is like crack. Yeah, they've got me hooked now on doing like the schlock reviews. So if you haven't caught any of the Twitter and some of the back and forth, even did a poll on YouTube about the sharks. So everyone turned on me, and I guess I'm going to do Sharks in the Corn. Is it Sharks? I think it's called Sharks in the Corn. So I'll be doing a review of that. It's not even a B-list, C-list movie. I don't even know what the level of that movie is. That movie's Ironcastle didn't even finish it. That's how bad it is. But I'm a glutton for punishment. But he's turned me on. So in November, I'm going to do Sharks in the Corn. And in November, we're going to do Thanksgiving, which I'm trying to read. I'm on Tubi, and I'm trying to read the synopsis of Thanksgiving. And, it will start playing if you leave it there long enough, right? And all I'm seeing is this lady's boobs just running. I'm like, what is happening? What? And I'm trying to move the screen so it would stop. And I'm like, Ironcastle, what the heck are you doing, man? I have no interest in watching. Like, this is. He's like, oh no. I'm like, okay, we'll watch it. We'll figure this out. But yeah. So yeah, Thanksgiving is coming to the Pops channel in November at some point. Gap, you sat through Sharks in the Corn. Yes, it's bad. Yes. But no, we did Shark Side of the Moon, and there's like 3 or 4 that are on there that are just absolutely insane. They really, really are. So I'm going over to YouTube so I can try to get some of your guys' links so we can make sure we're all buttoned up and subscribed to one another. Nobody's lost their subscriptions, because Lord knows when you go to someone's channel that you like, and next thing you know, you're not even subscribed. It's so freaking frustrating. Like, I just get, I don't know if you guys haven't heard the story. I have a couple. It happened with Zach's first. We were literally messaging each other back and forth on Twitter. At the exact same time things were happening. And I remember going back to his channel page, and then I was unsubscribed. Like, in the middle of this conversation that was going back and forth over the course of a few minutes. So let's see. I haven't heard from AJ. here for a minute. But this is the link to AJ. I think AJ is like a rising star, to borrow from Ryan Roger Athe. AJ is very interested in communicating very passionate takes on things. I really, really enjoy his stuff. I've got to change my sort. Oh, I can't change it on this screen. Sorry, all of my subscriptions are listed by who's done something recent, so I can try to catch up. So I've got them all out of order now, so I can't find anybody's stuff. This is gonna take forever. Let me just do it the old-fashioned way. I don't know, how do you guys manage your time to try to catch up when you get behind? Because it's crazy. This is Matt's. This is a common idiot. Matt over at Common Idiot, who is also suffering through She-Hulk and Andor, and he will be our extra guest next week on Pop Talk. That will be a week from today. Bifer is recommending Kanatra. All right. Well, I just finished Blind Tune. Honda Dune. Anyway, I just finished that. I liked it a lot. I'd recommend it. So yeah. Lots of stuff going on, guys. It's just so great. It's so much fun doing all of this stuff, hanging out with you guys. I've enjoyed reading comic books. I mean, it kind of, didn't want to be in the middle of a hurricane to kind of make me do it, but it was fun doing it. I had a lot of fun reading comic books for days. I had comic books and cards literally everywhere in my house. I'm just shocked that my wife didn't just like say something at some point. She's so sweet to me. Mrs. Pops puts up with all sorts. I call her Mrs. Pops now because that's what Mags named her, and that made me laugh. Gaps link. Yeah, it was. So yeah, it is. Kantara is how you spell it. Well, I'm glad you told me because I won't be able to find it. I had a coworker who sent me Bifer had a coworker sent me 3 more today. I have a spreadsheet now that kind of helps kind of keep track of all this stuff because I can't keep track of it. Onda Dune is Hitchcock on steroids. Yeah, it was. It's. I don't think it's quite as good as some folks were saying, but I will say this: the way it twists and twists and twists and stuff at the end was so worth it. It deserves a very high score just based on that kind of writing. It was very, very good. I really enjoyed it a lot. Who else has been up? And Jacob was up in here. Let me find Jacob. By the way, guys, I do go to these people's content and say, oh my gosh, I just clicked off of Gap, and Gap, you had freaking Flash Gordon right at the top like that. Oh, gosh, I love Flash Gordon stuff. Man, I'm so disappointed, Gap, that I had an email, and in the email, it hinted that Sam Jones had a new project, and they were interested in doing an interview of some kind, and then they just stopped. They stopped answering. So I didn't get an interview. I don't know. Oh, Joker Voice. How you doing, my brother? Got his Rippaverse. Oh, hail. Can't wait to hear that review. That's freaking great. Decepticon. Hey, my brother. Thanks for hanging out. Awesome. Got caught up. Well, I don't know if I got caught up on all your videos, but I got caught up on a couple of your videos. So that Flash Gordon book I did a short on is wonderful. It's a must-have. Yeah, I know. There's so much stuff to have. That's why I try to sell it too, because people are like, why are you selling your stuff? So, well, I have to have money keep coming in to keep. I have to have a flow. So there are things that don't go up, but yeah, in order to get Flash Gordon stuff, I'd probably have to move something else. But I have tons of stuff to move, so there's no problem finding stuff. So, but hail Joker Voice, who also has suffered through these horrible Disney Plus shows and can recommend his stuff. Let me get over here and find Joker Voice as well. Recommend him. But catching up on some stuff, just hanging out. Oh, jeez, it's sorry. I got to find links. I don't have a mod up in here right now, and try to plug you guys as well. But no, I did the mail. I'm gonna be at the Florida meetup. Did a talk through on Daredevil. Talked about Spawn. Tomorrow, Joker says tomorrow video, a 2-for-1 review and She-Hulk. Not enough either to get their own video. Both suck. It is. What did we joke about today, Joker? It was like, hold my beer. Oh, you think you're boring? Hold my beer. I can outbore you. Yeah, I know. It's that. You know, and it just stinks because it doesn't have to be this way. It's so freaking frustrating. I just can't believe it. I don't know what to say. It just bothers me to no end that we have to endure just such crappy content for no real reason. You know, they suck. They just don't care. And I know people are like, they'll be gung ho. That's why I mentioned the Spawn thing. I says, but they hired nobody. They're like, oh, this up and coming writer or whatever. And I'm like, what? This guy has no credentials. He's getting to do Spawn, or he's co-write Spawn. And then one guy's like, oh yeah, he co-wrote on Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm like, that's not a positive to me. So yeah, I know. I've heard. We discussed it briefly. I'm not interested right now. So we'll see how it goes. So let's see. Oh, that Flash Gordon book's on sale for like $28 instead of $50. Let's see. John Walsh, Flash Gordon. Let's find it. Walsh, Flash Gordon. I'm pulling it up. It's just 36. Did I hit the wrong one then? Hang on. Let me go back. No, it should have been. Should have been the right one. Let me see. Yep. Amazon is also kind of a hassle with this kind of stuff too, because they will put like so many on sale like that. And then once they get to that amount, then they go right back to a different price. So we could have missed out on the super deal. Yeah, I see $36 from $50. So that's probably what happened. They probably had it as low as $28. So good on you for getting like the super price. But listen, that's still not bad. Get into Christmas, I could put it on my Christmas list. That might be an option, right? Flash book. Yeah, Gaps recommendation. There's that link for you guys. Yeah, the scissoring hens. Yes, Joker, scissoring hens. I know. Yes. Double fisting beers. Please, boys. Our show is the worst. Yes, I know. Yes. Yeah. So for what I've heard from an insider, I mean, literally like years ago when I was in, I had more press connections and stuff, it would be like, we got a special price on 100 of these. So they'll mark 100 at $28 to use your example. And then the next 50 to 100 will be $38. And they eventually work themselves back up to that price. It's just inventory control management and special deals that they get. And promotion. My glasses are a mess. I can't even see out of one side. So I'm sorry I keep fiddling. But that's how some of that stuff does work. So yeah, you have to kind of stay on top of it. I add it to like a watch list or something. That way I get a notification if the price comes back down, especially like Black Friday coming up or something like that. But I don't know. Yeah, I can't drop $36 on a book right now. I have to wait. I have too many things in the hopper. Especially because we head into the holidays. But I could put something like that on my Christmas list. I thought about that too. I thought about doing a show right around the week before Thanksgiving, because the week of Thanksgiving I'll be on vacation. Like that's literally like that's a shut everything down. I don't go to my day job. I don't do any of this really. My wife's birthday is that week. It's just total shutdown for Thanksgiving week. But right before that, I thought about either doing Talk Hard, doing a special stream where we come up with like, you know, things that would be good nerdy Christmas gifts, like things like I mentioned, Daredevil 168, one of the greatest comic books ever. And what's an inexpensive way to read this book? And I don't mean like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, digitally rent it or buy it. I know, I mean like physically get a copy, because it's the first appearance of Electra. It's not a cheap comic book, but there are reprints and ways to get it. Something like that would be a good Christmas gift idea, I think, for the nerds, right? You know, packs of cards. I'm all into cards. You guys, I mean, are you sick of me talking about cards? Because I get mixtures. I get keep showing cards and no, I would rather see comic books. I get both, so I don't know what to do. So I just kind of bounce back and forth. And the problem is I don't want to leave comics in my car. So if I'm driving around, I have to figure out what I'm going to do with them. I don't, you know, no offense, but I can't leave Spawn #1s on my desk and let someone walk off with my freaking $100 comic book. So yes, I have like $100 graded one. So I'm going to upload my video teaser right over. Yes, please. Yeah, can't wait. Yes. Gap loves the trading card stuff. Yeah, I did a couple trading cards. They're super easy compared to the comic books. Are a little bit trickier for me. And I also, you know, and also with a short, I'm like, do I just show the cover or inside? It's like, then you got to figure out how am I going to show the inside and not mess it up? Because you got to try to figure out how the camera, and it's like, I don't know. I'm learning. I'm trying. So right now I kind of do a balance. I think I did the last one. I did like a couple cards, and then I did a comic book. I think I have another comic for the next day or so coming too. Another short. I did film one, but so yeah. All right. Joker ultimate nerdy Christmas gift. Batman anime cell autographic Jokers. Yeah, that's high. That's a high dollar one though, man. That's super sweet. That's hot. That's super nice. Yeah. No, I was thinking about like even like more like really inexpensive things that are more manageable for just anyone. So Matt says he likes the card shorts. He's not shy at all about his comments on the cards. We've had conversation. We can sit and do card night. So, and I have to be honest too. Let me go circle back to old gamer 62 colors. Hey man. So let me hit that real quick. Used to get grounded for not just finishing my schoolwork for Batman animated. Yes, animated series. BAS is the best. This is one of the reasons why I get so bitter about when I think about the sequels. They re-released cards. I had these set aside because I somehow was boxing them and there's a card missing. And I'm like, what happened? What did I do? And I take the blame. I know I have a lot of people helping. So, hey, Joker, take care of yourself, my friend. They released Star Wars Galaxy cards where they hire artists to do basically interpretations and renditions. And sure, they included, you know, new versions like this. Like you get the new versions of that. You know, but you do get, and you get this, you get crap like this. Yeah, you know, you get that. But we also got freaking, look at this. Black and white family. It's called Family Affair. Oh, that was really cool, man. And you get, look at this Vader card. Look at that. Nice. You know, yeah, you got to endure some crap. You got to endure this. This is the problem. That's why I got to be so bitter. Like, I don't want to see this. What I want to see, I don't want to see this. No, I don't mind seeing this. Look at that. Look at that Darth Maul. That's hot. So yeah, there's a couple of emotional roller coaster parts for me when I'm trying to deal with, you know, these cards, because I'm like, I don't, you know, the sequels messed it up so much. I don't know. Bloody Chucky doll. Oh, the Chucky movies are so funny for me. So I worked in the theater at the early part of when I was in college, and that was when Child's Play came out. So the theaters back then, for those of you that are not old like me, theaters back then, there were only like my theater, my primary theater, because I worked for, so each company had different theaters. I worked for a smaller company, and there were 6 in the area. I had a primary location, and then I had 2 secondary locations because you weren't really extra staffed. And when certain movies would come out, they would only be at certain ones. So for instance, when Batman 89 came out, it was only at the mall near the university, and it was like standing room only, lines out the door. We were all taking rotations to go over there and work, right? So mine had 6, and what they would do is the rated R. So when you walked in, the rated G movie was straight ahead to the right, and then there was usually like a musical or something else. And so all the safe movies are here, and then the rated R movies are down there. So Child's Play is there. There's always something else, and then there was Die Hard. That's what was playing. I remember this vividly, going from Die Hard to Child's Play. It was just this big thing in that general area. So I remember seeing Child's Play, pieces of Child's Play multiple times. So it was something. So yeah, Chucky stuff. I don't know any Chucky. I'm not really into like. I love the horror genre. I love the stuff, but I don't really own any of like the horror stuff really. So yeah, Luis Expero. The OT cards, to be honest, I have found, and I shared this with the boys on Talk Hard, and I don't have them right now. I'm going to bring them. We'll do it on that membership announcement stream here soon. I have original sealed wax packs for Return of the Jedi. So we will figure that out as being a giveaway for sure. I have a few loose cards that are in my eBay store, but all of my really nice OT cards, they went to one of my sons as like a keepsake. Like, these were mine. I'm giving them to you. They're your problem now. They're your responsibility. They're your inheritance, however you want to look at it. I don't know what you do with them. And I really don't want to know, because the prices on those, if they're perfect and gradable, are through the roof. It's insane. So loved Adam West 60s Batman as a kid and the original Batmobile. Sadly, I played with it in bitter end. Yeah, you know what? I would be the same. I would love, so of all the cars, you know, all the classic vehicles. And again, if you ever got so bored that you wanted to go through the Pops archives and go all the way back to the first video, there's this cell phone video which was filmed by my wife. I got a spontaneous phone call in the car to go cover a press event. I didn't have video at the time, didn't have a camera, had my cell phone, and I offered, so I'll go. And basically they had on location different vehicles, and I got to be inside the Ecto 1. Obviously they had Kit from Knight Rider, they had a DeLorean. So, but I have never actually been able to sit in one of the original Batmobiles. With all of my press, all of the conventions, all the events, I have never, ever gotten to be like inside the Batmobile. I've seen one. Don't think it's one from the show. I think it's just a replica. But yeah, never been able to be in one. That was always if there's sort of like a never got to do list, that would be kind of on there. So yeah. But yeah, 60s Batman was literally like every day. Oh yeah, Luis. Luis says that right here. Yeah, every day. Yeah, that's just, yeah, Batman. And I gotta be honest, I've binge watched back through some of them. I don't usually watch like whole seasons, but I watch a lot of it. So, Magical Mango, what's going on? Have you ever heard of the Battlefront Star Wars game? Yeah, of course. Yeah, my kids are my boys are monster into Battlefront, and actually, they're in their 20s and they still have Battlefront. Because I caught some of the stuff they had out in my one son's office, and yeah, the headset was there. Battlefront was out. I don't know which versions and whatever we're on. I'm not a gamer. But yeah, I can't tell how many versions of that crap I've bought for those kids. Golly, I tell you so. I dare you to eat the gun from a Seals wax pack from Return of the Jedi. You know, Bifer, listen, you, my friend, are late to the stream. I said before, I opened one on a stream. This is a 1983, same year as Return of the Jedi, 1983. Topps football. We opened the pack, and Ironcaster
said, chew the gum. I said, okay, first off, I don't think I can chew the gum. So somebody's got to throw $50 at me. Now, at the time, I wasn't even monetized, so they would have had to go to PayPal. I said, we're $50, I'll chew the gum. Now, I took that off the table because I don't think you can chew the gum. So we got this gum out of here, out of the pack I opened, and you could pop it. It's so hard. I don't think I can get enough water and juice. I'd have to maybe soak the gum and then chew the gum. But that starting price is at least $50. There's no way I'm just going to chew this nasty gum. It's probably going to make me. So I'm afraid I'm going to swallow a piece of it. It'll make me sick. But no, there's gum in these things. And there's gum in those Jedi packs for sure. Absolutely. And I think, because I have Raiders of the Lost Ark packs too, I think they have gum as well. So yeah. Oh no, there's gum. The garbage pails we opened a garbage pail. Yeah, it has gum too. There's a couple of those. We opened one of those on one of Loki's streams. Gave them away. Yeah. No, I don't do it on a dare. No offense. You have to pay my doctor bill just in case. No. So, but I'll be more than happy to give them to you. Like if you want to pay to open it up, we'll open it up and we'll figure it out, and then I'll mail them to you because I don't want them. Battlefront on the GameCube is my favorite. Yeah, that's what they had. They had the cube. They're all about it. So, what original packs faints? Oh, bro, let me tell you, I'm going to do shorts. I'm going to show you guys some of that kind of stuff. I couldn't believe when I found them. So again, Hurricane. I had card. I pulled out. So I had a whole drawer of stuff. So when we moved, there was panic. I had more stuff than I was going to have room for, and my brain pieces together what most likely has happened. I don't know what's fiction and what's not. So I'll just be honest and tell you I don't really know. But it sounds to me like I got one of those boxes. It was really heavy or the bottom was going to break. I popped it open and put stuff in. And these cards, I securely had packed them in there so they weren't going to get damaged. And I put stuff over them. Well, the problem when you put stuff over something is that you don't know they're under there. So there you go. That's how they survived and I've not touched them in literally 2 years. They've been in that box. It's like a cabinet, like a drawer, cabinet drawer. There is a company's making the 60s car, but you have to provide your own Lincoln Futura. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can see that. I wish I had that kind of money. Actually, to be honest, if you could have any, would that be the car you go with? Because I don't know that I'd want. That seems the least practical to drive around in, even if it is just like every now and again. I've always wanted an Ecto 1. I think an Ecto 1 was what I would go with if I could do it. The DeLorean's close. The Ecto 1 or the DeLorean is what I would probably do. Yeah. So, GameCube storytelling. Yeah. And that game was really well done. Yeah. The original Lucas Battlefront games, PS2 and Xbox were the best. Yeah. Okay. My boys had it all, man. Boys had it all. Yeah. You can only own one. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 89 Batmobile. It's a low blow, Matt. Going with the low blow with the 89. Yeah, I would have to own the 89 Batmobile. I've seen an 89 Batmobile at a Warner Brothers event, but I was not anywhere close to it. Definitely haven't sat in one or anything like that. They won it at an event I was covering a long time ago. Yeah, that was you knew exactly what soft spot to go for with that reference. So Gap says it was tough. So all right, I'll save you the torture. Chewed the 1980s Topps baseball pack while I was chewing crumbled up hard cookies, and that was way overold. Yeah, it's just like chunks of stuff. Like I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know how to get through it. Like I listen. I'm a crazy person. Haven't you heard about spite funding? You guys know what spite funding is? I got into spite funding because I was watching Michael Malice. The people were paying him to like review books he didn't want to review. Like he got paid to review, I think, Hillary's book or Andrew Cuomo's book, and then he had to try all these like different like jellies from all over the world, and he had to have like chips. Dude, he made so much money though. People would pay. He's like, I'm not doing that for like $1,000. And like in a day on Twitter, people would just like, here's the link to go to this Cash App account or whatever they did. And I forget how they did it, but they were like, hey, here's $1,000, dude. You got to do it. And he would do it. He's like, well, they paid me to do it. So Bifer picks DeLorean, but also goes Smokey and Bandit car. Yeah, you know what? I got to be honest though. Smokey and the Bandit, I grew up in the era, so a lot of people actually had Smokey and Bandit cars. So I've kind of like been there, done that. I had an uncle who had one. So been there. T-tops leaked. The whole nine. Just old school, man. You want a kit car, but a working version. Well, good luck. Yeah, I know. That'd be kind of cool, though, wouldn't it? I would drive an Ecto one everywhere and not ever care. Listen, I have my video. Some of you may not even know. I don't play it as often anymore now. It's like I gotta wait. So the hard thing too is my ADD. So, but here you go. There we go.
This is going to make E.T. look like Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know what I'm saying?
That's my Walmart edited video. Driving Ecto one. It makes me laugh. I was the only adult in line to do this. My wife's still married to me. I don't even know. She not only did the cell phone stuff, you can barely hear anything, but she's like, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to go do that. And they're like, what are you doing? It's like, they're like, look, I'm behind like a 9-year-old and there's like a 6-year-old and his mom behind me. And I'm the only one. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing this, man. I'm doing this. Yes. Saturday Ecto clone. Yeah. Yeah. So the one I went, that one, that was video edited in, but the one I actually sat in is it's a Hollywood prop company. So like the Ecto that is in that commercial is the Ecto that I sat in. Like that's they were the ones from that commercial, the cars from those commercials. So it was, the promotion was for that company who does those cars. So they're that replica company, but it's like for studios and for commercials and ads and those kinds of things. So tough question. Choose one comic book as your favorite. See, that's so again, been down that road with Loki did a whole show, the comic book roundtable with me, or was it? Yeah, it's comic book roundtable with favorite comic. I couldn't really figure. So one comic is too hard because the first one that got me into all this is Dark Knight Returns. I know it's cliche. It's not. It just is what it is for me. It changed everything. Like I was like, I didn't know comic books could be that adult, that interesting, that cool. And then I was down the rabbit hole. But it's almost like too cliche to choose that one. I got to be honest. This Daredevil 168 issue is so much better than I remembered. Like it's so freaking good. That would be one. I don't know if I can pick one. Punisher Kills the Marvel Universe is a great standalone comic book. Oh my God, it's great. And I'm not even going to count like obvious things, but so yeah, it is tough. It's beyond tough. I actually thought about doing videos. I have more video ideas and things that happen in my head than I can do. So I have to figure out how to get to that level where you have like producers and editors and things, because then I could probably do this full time, because the amount of content that my brain will generate is just endless. Like I don't ever stop. My brain doesn't stop thinking. I literally have lists like this. Like it just happens all day where I have little notes of just, this is next. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do that. And the only thing that's changed for me personally, and if you're having trouble as a YouTuber, I can tell you this, you have to give you permission to just move on, because some things you just can't get to. So I had to create like a list of things that if I get to it, I get to it. And if I don't, I don't. Right. I was going to do a Hellraiser review before this show dropped. I didn't know it drops on Friday, the new one. So I won't get to my review of 1987 one in time, because I'm only like a little over halfway through it again. And I want to make sure I rewatch it to have it fresh. So Bifers pointed out the love of Jurassic car Jeep. I actually know somebody who had one and was in that. Checked it out. Pretty cool. It's kind of the kind of thing you can kind of drive around and just have as a normal part of life. So that's kind of cool. That's a cool element to that. So
Yeah. Let's see. Fast and the Furious Orange Mazda RX-7. Very cool. Yeah. Just finding the Cadillac hearse. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I know. Because I had friends that did. I had a friend, uber nerd friend back in the day. So this is like early 2000s, like 2003 ish. And they did they got one and did a restoration to do a Blues Brothers. They did a Blues Brothers car. Things on top, whole nine. Yeah. Ninja Turtle van or Scooby Doo van. Yes. I could do either one. Would really love a Mystery Machine. Actually, almost convinced my wife. I got close to buying a Volkswagen. Now I don't know the model of the Scooby Doo van, but it was close enough for me. But here's my thing. It's, that's outdated technology. So I have no idea what kind of restoration I'd have to do on all the mechanical elements in the engine on this thing to keep it running. And I was like, well, can we just strip it out and put a new engine in it? Could we just give it new stuff as far as mechanics, as long as it looked like the Mystery Machine? I can repaint it to look like a Mystery Machine. But anyway, that got to be a very expensive proposition from the initial proposal. And that, nay. That's why I'm not allowed to be rich, because I'd have stupid stuff like this. I would just drive around in it and I would loan it out to people so they could. I wouldn't care. I just rent it to you. Yeah, whatever you do, I'll pay the bill. I don't care. I don't know the exact model of that Volkswagen van, but I don't know which one exactly. Microbus or Dodge version of the Econo. Yeah, I don't know. Let's look it up. Scooby-Doo van model. Scooby-Doo van model. Kind of have model kits. Yep, there you go. I didn't do it right. Let me see. What type? Let's see what type of. But no, this was a Volkswagen van. It was already tricked out. This says it is mid-1960s Chevrolet G-body panel van or a Dodge A100. Pretty much the Dodge and the Chevrolet during that era are pretty much the same vehicle. So that's what it was modeled after. The one I found was like a Volkswagen, and they had already painted it. It was already done Mystery Machine. The problem is the mechanics, the engine and all of the, and I couldn't pull both. It was too far shot. So Austin Powers car. Well, yeah. I mean, that's just a sweet ride. just forget about it. Yeah. All right. Well, hey man, thanks for hanging out so long. Appreciate that so much. You're so awesome hanging with us and being here with us. We just appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it, Louise. Yeah. Hot somebody, right? Yeah. Awesome. So, all right, guys. I've been an hour and a half. It's 10:13. Oh yeah. Well, who wouldn't want an Aston Martin? Oh, who wouldn't want an Aston Martin? So, yes. More good night to Louise. Yes. So yeah, about an hour and a half. I will be up early doing She-Hulk. That will drop tomorrow at 10:15. Got my Daredevil thing at 12:15. Be doing some other stuff. Werewolf by Night drops on Friday, so I'm hoping that drops early. So I'll be doing that. It's about an hour long, I heard. I don't know. I mean, I'm anxious to see what they try to do. I hope that it's just something that we can just have some fun with for a change. That's what I'm hoping for. The Hellraiser also drops on Friday. I'm not sure I can do both in time and still pull off my day job, but it will come relatively soon thereafter. Best I can do. So yeah, man, thanks for, but thanks to you guys for doing this with me, hanging out with me, doing that kind of stuff. I appreciate it so much. Haven't done one. Actually, I've been kind of, obviously out of commission for a minute, and everybody's safe. Everything's good. And it's just awesome to just hang out with you guys and get to know you guys more and chat about stuff. And like I said, pick favorite vehicles, man. It's good. Tough call, man. And Matt's cheating, man, because he knows Batman's a soft spot. It's tough. But because I don't really consider, I don't know, I guess because I haven't really had an opportunity to be in the thing to know what a Batman and any Batmobile will look like. Seen a couple of 66 Batmobiles, but not been in them. But yeah, the idea of the Ecto one is still so freaking cool to me. I don't know, something about it. So, but good night to you guys. Thank you guys so much. And glad everybody made it. Yes, thank you so much, Gap. pray and continue to pray. And if there's anybody that can do any support or anything like that for any charities or anything like that that's helping the Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples areas, things that. So a hurricane 2 starts to bend your trees, becomes very dangerous. A 2, 3 seriously changes the game and the equation. 4 is like you have to leave. It's like destroy. It can destroy anything. You don't know what it can destroy. And the fact that this thing changed last minute, those people are going to need help for a long time. If you have people that are being displaced or whatever, things we need to do like that. So Bifer's throwing out the Bumblebee Camaro. Yeah. They made a line of those that came out here sometime recently. So, but yeah, no, thanks to you guys. Let's see. Tomorrow I'll have on Noob's review at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So Noobs will be with me tomorrow. Megan will be here. We'll talk comic books then. Next week, Talk Hard is going to be Army of Darkness. Yes, next week is Army of Darkness. So that is coming up Tuesday. Wednesday will be Pops Talk. And yes, a common idiot, Mr. Matt right there. He'll be on with us. So who knows what we'll be talking about. Old Gamer 6072 is talking about the Bronx Charger from Venture Bros. Oh, man, that's a good reference too, man. Good call. I love Dodge Chargers. Just so we're now perfectly honest on that side note. So yeah, stuff's coming up. Like I said, I'm going to let this whole thing ride through the 1,500 subscribers thing. Make sure I'm well above that before I pull the ripcord on doing like a congratulations celebratory thing, because you know how YouTube is, they pull numbers away. So I want to make sure that we're good and free and clear, and we'll roll out memberships. We'll do all that kind of stuff, and really try to connect differently. Have special member only type streams, giveaways, different ways of connecting and communicating with you guys, especially you great creators that are out there too that I already support. But figure out a way that we can kind of support each other even more so and differently. And for those of you guys know that all the money that I do is just, it all goes back into just doing this. Like I use the money that I had from that first one, and I bought another webcam. I can't figure out the logistics of having it like user friendly. Like it's just going to be this rod hanging over my shoulder. So that means I have to start a whole stream. I can't switch midstream. You'd see the pole, and I'm like, all right, well, do I redo the whole area? I don't know yet. I've played around with it. I'm still trying to figure out the best situation for the second camera, but we want to do that so that we could do like card breaks and comic book stuff differently. So that'll be fun. But that's what I want. The money is not clean. I'm going to quit my job. I don't even consider that an option. That to me is like fantasy stuff. Maybe someday that would happen. That's fine. But it's just, I would get an actual computer set up, get an actual, better working situation. And to be honest, money I would get in would go back into stuff. I'd buy more stuff to show off or give away. I buy more super chats to give to someone else. It's like, it's not going to change my strategy or plan. But thanks for being here tonight, guys. You guys just make all this worthwhile. I just love it so much. And I got a couple things off my to-do list, and you got a little insight into some stuff coming up. So thank you to that. As always, make tomorrow better than today. Be blessed. And you know what? Don't forget, got to chill with some Bob Ross.